All right, well, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about multimodal content in the AI era, one of our favorite topics here at CIPR Communications, where we're all multimodal all the way, using the tools, using the techniques. I thought I'd maybe start today just by talking a little bit about AI in general, and reflecting on some conversations I've had actually in the last 2 days, to be honest with you, which have been kind of interesting with people that are sort of, I guess, apprehensive about AI. And, is it, geez, are we just using AI to stop communicating and stop marketing? And now the AI is just going to do it all for us. And where's the human in the loop and all that kind of fun stuff? And I think that to me, though, those kinds of comments and questions actually come from probably a lack of understanding of the tools more than anything else. And so hopefully today we can kind of address a little bit of that to some extent, although I know Kendall's presentation slides today are going to be a little bit about how to kind of create content using AI, but and then how to make it multimodal. But what we often do here at CIPR Communications actually is we try to take a bit of a different approach to content development, which is really actually leading with humans. And so, for example, the content we're doing today, which is a webinar, humans talking, humans creating content. And then what can we do with today's content, today's webinar, to sort of break it up into smaller pieces, to turn it into text? Can we create some infographics, et cetera, et cetera? So I think, to me, as we think about digital marketing in today's world, and the world of AI, where there's going to be more and more AI generated content, we need to be very mindful of actually how do we make sure it's more human content and human first content, and then using AI as tools to help us quickly turn it multimodal in ways that just weren't even possible, honestly, like 6 months ago. So that is going to be a little bit about my theme for today. But today's goal, we're going to have Kendall walk us through a bit of a workflow that she developed for the purpose of this presentation, really building one powerful piece of content and multiplying its impact. So next slide. So let's start off with what is multimodal content, just to kind of, I guess, to kind of lay things out here. But really, it's content that is multimodal. So text, visual, video, audio, all in one place. Really, to me, we have to be necessarily multimodal. We have to meet people where they are with respect to the way they like to, consume information. I always talk about myself. I'm dyslexic, and reading is not my favorite thing to do. However, listening to audio, I'm all over it all the time, every day. And so, one example that we can certainly share from the Tourism AI Network website is we actually added 11 Labs, which is an audio tool that'll actually turn our blogs, for example, into, it'll read our blogs. So that's just a very simple example of how multimodal has an impact for our audiences, so that if they don't want to read, they can certainly listen. If there's a video, they can certainly watch the video. And so really it's a couple things. It's one, meeting people where they are, and sort of providing content in a format that works for them. And two, it's, sort of making ourselves more accessible. So, not only does multimodal content help with accessibility, but it actually makes our content more accessible to people that might have different preferences. And, I'll just add multimodal, probably in 2025 and beyond, could also include multi-language, because all of a sudden we have AI tools available that can make it really easy for us to make content available in multiple languages, even video content, even audio content. So again, the tools just make all of these things so much more possible today than they were even 6 months ago. It's pretty exciting. So, thinking about just the benefits of it is, obviously boosting engagement, trust, and performance, but also potentially reaching net new audiences in their language, meeting them where they're at. I think that's a really exciting thing for tourism specifically, when we're trying to reach audiences around the world from different places, be able to kind of hit them in their own language. I think that's a really exciting opportunity that we should be thinking about in context of this conversation. Next slide. So today's example, Kendall's going to be walking us through, but really it's a multimodal blog post and the creation and the steps that she takes to create that blog post. And so we're going to show you how to build one step by step. SEO blogs still rank, convert, and anchor your brand. So I think there's a lot of talk out there, is SEO dead, and is AI eating SEO and all this kind of stuff. And I would suggest not, we still need to write blogs, and we still need to create content and do all the things that we always had to do. But today's blogs, to the point here, need more than just words, right? So as much as it's still important, it's also important to be multimodal. And I'll talk about YouTube for a second, but YouTube is an interesting channel as an example of as more AI generated content becomes available in written format, probably more video content is going to be consumed by humans, and specifically video content of humans, made by humans, of humans. And so, I would just say that as machines become more part of our digital marketing mix, humans are probably going to crave more humans. And so that's one place where multimodal helps. But certainly, AI tools now can understand things in multimodal, in multiple modes. So AI machines can understand images, can understand infographics, can understand obviously words, videos, and other things. So it's important for us, if we want to show up and be found and visible, to also create content in those different formats. So definitely more than just words. We'll build one today together. That's what Kenny will do in her example. So we'll let her do that. We won't steal her thunder. So next slide.
Oh, 1 second. There we go.
Perfect. And just a reminder, or maybe if you don't know about the EAT framework, so really Google has been talking about this framework for quite a long time. And so EAT really stands for expertise, authoritativeness, experience, and trust. And really fundamentally, if we think about building content in 2025 and beyond, but really this should have been part of our content marketing strategy always. But really doubling down on the EAT framework and the strategy behind the build here, making sure that when we build content, it includes all of these different components. And so again, if I think about multimodal content, not the example we're going to show you today, but the example of, for example, having a podcast, doing webinars, recording content, turning it into blogs, turning it into infographics and other things. That's really our way of actually making sure we're following Google's EAT framework. For example, in tourism, if we're going to interview the CEO of a destination, that automatically gives us authority. Make sure that person probably is trusted in their community. That person has expertise, and that person has experience. So, I really encourage you to think about, when you're building multimodal content, to really think about human first content. And content that really showcases those authorities, the trust, the experience, and expertise of the people on your team. And we've been doing a lot more of this at our agency, and just trying to kind of bring our whole team to the forefront in video format. We'll talk about some tools in this presentation that we use to do that. But again, I think the key message here is it's become suddenly very easy to take, for example, an interview or a webinar presentation and turn it into all kinds of different modalities that all kind of fit this EAT framework. And so as we develop content, always EAT should be top of mind. And I actually think the AI and the tools available make this framework actually a lot easier to work with, which is really exciting. And I think that my last point on this is, I think we're going to see a lot of brands and a lot of people pushing, I can build you 1,000 blogs in 5 minutes using AI. And that is just going to be like the garbage content that's going to overwhelm the internet, and it's not going to do well. So, sort of that strategy is the exact opposite of what you should be thinking of doing. Whereas sort of, that human first, human centric EAT framework content has always been what you needed to do, and will continue to be what needs to be done. Next slide, I believe, is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So for today's kind of case study, we created a fictional company called Wild Step Adventures, and they are a tourism operator offering hiking tours. and they are launching a new Twilight Summit series. And they have a target audience. So what we're going to do today is create a multimodal blog post for them, and kind of walk through a few different tools we can use to do that. For the sake of this demonstration, I did create a little bit of a brand brief. So, most companies, organizations will have some of these documents already. But just for the sake of this, I kind of just kept it concise and short, just so we would only have to upload one document. I'm actually just going to download a PDF of that so I can upload it. And then if you go into ChatGPT and, hold on one second, I want to be able to see you guys. I already kind of created a few prompts that I'm going to use. So basically what I want to do is, I'm just going to copy this prompt that I'd already created, but I am going to work with GPT as my blog creator, and I'm giving it a job. So I'm asking ChatGPT to be a blog writer for Wild Step Adventures, our hiking company, a little bit about what I want the blog to be. I am going to say that I'm going to add in the brand brief, which I will do right now. And then a little bit about what I want to see in the blog. So in this case, I wanted to follow the EAT framework. We want to have that strong SEO headlines and a strong call to action, and a little bit about how I want the blog to sound. So I'll just go ahead and put that through. And it's going to come back and give me a nicely done blog post. And again, as Peter said, always be the human in the loop. So of course we would kind of take this blog and vet it, read through it, make any edits we want to have on it. But again, for the sake of this presentation and time, we're just going to take it at face value and use it as is. So we have this, great blog post done, and, you could use this as is, but we want to make it multimodal. So one thing that we could add to this blog post on our website to do that is an infographic. And again, I am going to show a different tool how to do that. But first, I want to get some content to put into an infographic. So I'm just going to copy this here. But basically, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me come up with content that I could use in an infographic. So I like top 5 lists, or like top 10 lists, like those kind of listicle style infographics are really good. But I would say almost every blog you write can be made into some sort of infographic, and you can work with GPT to help you find what that content is. In this case, I'm going to specifically ask it to create content for a top 5 list, just because I wanted a very specific example for this. So I kind of give it a title to choose from and give it really precise instructions. I wanted 5 short bullets, and then a call to action. So I'm going to put that in here. And it's giving me this kind of really nice top 5 listicle style, I'll call it. So ChatGPT has gotten really good at creating kind of graphics and images and things. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of do a little bit of comparison as we're testing these different tools. So I'm going to introduce a tool called Napkin AI. And Napkin AI is a great tool for creating kind of just graphic content, great for presentations, and in this case, a blog post for social content. But I also kind of want to see what ChatGPT will give me with the same prompt. So I'm going to just ask, I copied this and I'm going to use a Napkin AI. Before I go over to that tool, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create the infographic for me too, so that afterwards we can come back and kind of see how it interpreted that. So the infographic. All right, so now while it's working on that, I'm going to go over to Napkin AI. And this is it's a free or paid tool, but all the tools I'm showing today, I am using the free version of. So just to show that they have quite good capabilities with the free version. And so I'm just going to paste in that listicle that it gave me. And this is kind of where the magic happens. There's this little lightning symbol here. And when you click that, it's just going to kind of read it. And come up with a bunch of different visuals that you can select from. So kind of a cool thing you can go through and pick. Even on the free version, you can upload your brand colors, which I think is really cool as a free version to be able to do that. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to select this one. I kind of like the look of this one, little kind of graphics they used for each of them. When you click on styles, you can even kind of refine that look and feel of that one even more. I'll just kind of click on this one. And from here, you can export this and save it as a PNG or a JPEG. And you can use this then in your blog to go along with that on your website. So I'm going to pop back over to GPT and see the infographic that it created. Completely different, more text-based. And, you know, like personally, I don't think I'd want to use this in my blog just because it's more of like a text image, but this could be a really cool Instagram post driving traffic back to your blog after. So it's definitely still usable for some different context. And we'll talk about kind of how you can use the blog for other content as we go here. So not unusable in any shape or form, but personally, I like the Napkin AI output better for this purpose. So next, I want to create like a really nice hero image to go along with my blog because we want that other piece of content in there. And so I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help create an image for me. But this is also where I'm going to introduce another tool called Leonardo AI in case you haven't heard of that one. Again, I have the free version, and this is an image generation tool. And even again, on the free version, there's quite a few different features you can access and quite a few, I think they're called tokens or credits that you have on the free version to get images made. So when I'm using these different tools, something that I like to do is actually just ask ChatGPT for the prompt for how to put them into this tool. So for this one, I'm just going to say that I'd like to create a hero image for this blog using Leonardo AI. Can you give me a prompt? Oh, that's not helpful. But luckily, I tried this earlier and I have the prompt saved. So I have it here. I'm just going to copy that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to try this again on ChatGPT. So this is always fun when these things don't work in a live webinar, but let's just see if that works here. So I want ChatGPT to create the image for me too, because again, I want to compare. I want to compare how Leonardo does compared to, again, not working there. But I do have it saved from before. So we'll pull that one up after. But in the meantime, I'm just going to jump over to Leonardo because I did create this one before. I put the prompt in and it did come back with some different image options for me here. So they're all very similar based on the prompt, but with a few kind of different changes. You know, I kind of just picked my favorite one. I think it did a pretty good job. And then from here, I can actually save that and use that in my blog post as well. I'm just going to see, bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to jump into another folder for 1 sec. Sorry. I hope that's not it. I think actually, Juan, you have the other image for the Lumen 5 video, right? I think I sent it to you. So when we get to that part of the presentation, we'll see the image that GPT had put out so we can kind of compare the two. So I'm just going to go through here.
Yeah, just coincidentally, see a post from ChatGPT that apparently they've been having some problems. So I think.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, always helpful when you're in the middle of a workshop or a webinar. But anyways, that's all good. So we've gone through. We have our blog post. We have an infographic to go with it. We now have a hero image to use. So already in this blog post, we have 2 different modalities. in there, which is great, but we want to add a third one. So we are going to pop over to another tool called Lumen 5. And this is an AI video production tool. I don't know how to call it, but Juan is going to show us how to use that. So he's going to take the blog post that we wrote and the image that we created and do a video for us using this. So I'll stop sharing my screen, Juan.
Perfect. So yes, we're gonna do a video with Lumen 5. Actually, Kenny got a really good idea of like use the free version of these different tools that we have, so we can, so we know that we can use them without paying, and like we can test them and everything else. So basically, I'm just taking the whole blog post that Kenny shared with us, and it's just a simple process. Lumen 5 basically does some kind of videos that have text, and in some kind of a way they're testimonial videos. They don't do AI video generation. Those are other tools that are all over the market. But for this one, is as a promotional video, is a really cool tool. So basically what I'm going to do is just create a video, and then I have a lot of different templates here that I can use, but I can create mine as well. For this one, I just think like, let's just go with the simple one. And then of course, like we're talking about social media maybe, so I'm just going to use a social media format, which can be either like 1.1 or 9.16, just depending on like the strategy that we have. Just going to go 9.16. And basically it has different options. So it has the voiceover, text and media, voiceover, that I can do, like I can do the recording, or the AI voiceover, which is with different voices that the platform offers. You can do a talking head, which is kind of like a Loom video, where you can be over that video that you have and just talking into it. And we have the AI avatar, which is still beta, which is like the AI twins that we have seen all over the place, which they capture a little bit of you, and then they replicate your voice and your movements, so you can be in the video without making the full video yourself. This time we're just going to use the text and media, and then I have different options here. So for example, I have the option to outline an idea, which is a kind of a back and forth that you do with Lumen 5, where you talk a little bit about the video and then what you want to have in the video, or like you can, if you have the blog post already online, you can import it from there or upload it as well. I just have it like as a really cool and easy copy paste from Kenny. So based on that, what this tool is going to do is basically create a script with AI based on the content. And as you can see, it's working. It's basically working on it basically did a full video script from our blog post, with a title and introduction, and then it became from it was it I love the format because it came like, oh, the experience, then we're talking about commitment to place, because we're talking about, well, wild step adventures, and then it closes usually the videos with CTAs, which is a really good thing when we're talking about social media content. Of course, because I'm using a free version, there are some things that I cannot change, as like the duration of the video, the tone, the video title, and some instructions. This is kind of like something that if you pay for your account, you can play with. But other than that, I just can click continue, and it's a simple process. This is basically, it's dividing me the video in different sections, which are like sections of text, and then I can remove or keep whatever or change if I need to. In this case, I'm not going to change anything. You just come back here, and then I'm going to convert to video. Of course, in a free plan, I just can do 2 minutes of video, which is not that much. But if you think about it, and if you think your strategy to be 2 minutes of video can be for 30 seconds videos, which is one video per week. So it's a really good thing for the strategy. And then if I, let's say, review my video, we basically get a video with like everything. It has some stock content showing, like things related to all of the parts of the script and the topic that we're talking about. So, for example, this one is just showing us like a guide and everything else, and then we can play and we play with AI and just replace the videos and replace our colors and everything else. And yeah, basically, like play back and forth here. Let's just say I'm just going to change this one because I didn't like that guide, so I'm just changing for this guide, just because I feel it relates more to my video. So and yeah, then basically what I can do is just save my project or like publish my video, which is like I'm just gonna be able to export it. Of course, we're in a free version, so we're gonna get a watermark, but it's a really good thing that we can try our different tools for free and then check if they work for us or not and take some decisions from there. But yeah, we got a 1 minute video with a script within a script for socials with all the things that a video for social media needs, like an introduction and closing like with a CTA. So yeah, that's pretty much it over the side of Lumen 5.
Perfect. So let's go back to the presentation here. All right, so what was that? Maybe 20 minutes? In 20 minutes, we created a blog post, an infographic, a hero image for the blog, and this video that we can insert into the blog. So we have a very multimodal piece of content. And this can be, we use the blog as an example, but it can be like a landing page. There's a lot of different kind of pieces of content that a multimodal works for. And then this can really be used as what we call seed content. So I'm just going to actually skip ahead. We'll come back to these two slides in a second, because really, when you think about having this one piece of seed content, you can then use ChatGPT to help break the content down and turn it into multiple pieces for all of your channels. So as I mentioned previously, you have the infographic that can be shared on social, LinkedIn, your e-newsletter, driving traffic back to the blog post. You can take that video that's in your blog post and share it across your social channels, again, driving traffic back. And, just kind of like a sample repurposing plan for leading traffic back to your blog. Monday you publish the blog, Tuesday you release your video teaser, Wednesday the infographic, Thursday maybe it's a shorter reel, like a 15-second clip from that longer video, Friday you have your e-newsletter, and suddenly you have multiple pieces of content all from this one main source. And it's a really great way to continue driving traffic back, helping SEO, and just making the most, kind of that saying, create once, post everywhere. It's a great way to get lots of legs from any sort of piece of content. Sorry, I'm just going to go back up just to kind of show a live example from our website, the Tourism AI Network, where we have our blog post that Peter did mention. We have the 11 Labs audio component. We have the hero image in there. And then if we just scroll down to the bottom of this one as well, we also have an embedded video. So kind of multiple different pieces of content within there. And Peter, may I toss this back over to you?
You may. So I think hopefully this kind of give you a bit of a sense on, again, a very simple demonstration on how to kind of create multimodal content. But when we're thinking about multimodal content, it's not just because it's fun to do, even though it can be. We want to be making sure that we're doing it with a purpose, which oftentimes is to make sure we hit all the things we need to hit from an SEO perspective. So certainly clear headlines with a relevant key phrase in the headline. So we always want to make sure we have that sort of main keyword or that key phrase in your headline. And it's fully optimized. So that's important. And so even if you're thinking about developing, for example, inside ChatGPT, a bit of a SEO optimized blog writer tool or whatever, we want to make sure we give it instructions to make sure that it's the headline is optimized for search. Certainly firsthand experience or case insight. So the experience part of the EAT framework. So again, today we just kind of really used a pretty simple demo, but if you're working at a DMO or you're an experience provider, is really your firsthand experience and that sort of that authentic experience and your kind of your specialized knowledge that should be brought to the forefront as much as possible to make sure that you're meeting that EAT framework credibility with your audience. Accurate, informative writing, expertise. So the expertise part, really, I think today, the tools allow us to go a lot deeper than we've ever been able to go before, and a lot faster in depth. So really thinking about, your role is to be subject matter expert on your domain. And so, really well researched, factual content. There are tools, if you don't know, inside ChatGPT, like Deep Research and others, that can really give you a lot of extra context. Certainly any kind of interviews or, conversations with leaders from your organization all help with the expertise part of things. Certainly authoritativeness. So branded visuals, links to your organization, organization's bio. So, one thing that we always recommend when we're writing content on a podcast, on a blog, on your website, is for it to have an actual author. So it shouldn't be written by your necessarily by your company. It should be written maybe by the president of your company or the director of communications or the director of experience. And a good best practice around this authoritativeness is to not just have one authority or one author on your blog. In fact, having multiple authors on your blog and having maybe bios on your about page of all the different people that would be contributing to your blog, so that we start to build that authoritativeness beyond just the one person in your organization. That's really going to help satisfy that part of the EAT framework. Certainly video, images, and audio ads, clarity and trust. But it also kind of, as I mentioned before, meets people where they're at, right? So by creating multimodal content, we can add it to YouTube, we can add it to social media. We can sort of certainly make pages easier to scroll for those people that aren't listening, aren't necessarily going to read. We can make it available in audio if they're going to listen. So we just want to give people as many options as possible to consume our content and build trust with our organization. And certainly, one of the core foundations of SEO is link building. So building links to your content, and links are also your YouTube and your social media and potentially industry publications and newsletters and other places, right? So all of those different links. In today's world, we want to be as natural as possible with links. So I think gone are the days of the classic SEO link farm where we're just building links for the sake of building links. In fact, there's a big resurgence of public relations in general in the AI era of search. And the reason for that is because those are very natural links, and other brands or other publications talking about your brand is honestly the most natural way to build those links. So, if you're building, for example, a pretty in-depth piece of content that's multimodal and you're putting a lot of effort into it, writing a press release and putting it over a newswire and seeing if you can get picked up with a media publication, et cetera, fantastic ways to build links in a natural way. That's going to certainly help with your SEO program. And then I think it goes without saying, but calls to actions that are aligned with your user intent. So when a user hits your website or hits your content, they're going to ask 3 questions. Number 1, am I in the right place? So that should be pretty apparent by your logo and some language on your website that they're in the right place. Number two is, how do I feel about this place? So hopefully if it's multimodal and it's pretty and it's sort of got all the elements to make it an engaging page, that'll make them feel good. And the number three question they ask when they land on your website is, what do I do next? And that's really where your call to action directs them on where you want them to go, right? So I think it's really important to really think about your website, and when you add content to your website, really with those three elements. And then if you do those things well, then you're just going to start to see more and more results over time. So that is it for this slide. I don't know, Kenny, if there's any other pages. So in terms of going forward from here, if you need help, certainly with kind of helping your brand figure out how to do this, here at CIPR Communications and Tourism AI Network, we certainly provide training. We do AI intuition sprints, which will help you kind of learn how to use all these tools effectively, learn how to prompt effectively, all those types of things. So certainly if you need help with any kind of hands-on training, that's what we're here for sure. And then certainly if you actually just need somebody to do the work for you or help you because you don't have enough time, that's also services we provide. Really building your stack is really important. So building your technology stack. And this really comes from, first of all, using technology and playing with technology. I think one kind of, talked about the fact that all of these tools allow for some free demos and using the tools for free before you decide to invest. We as a marketing agency invest in quite a few tools, but we certainly don't suggest that you need to necessarily invest in as many tools as we invest in. But there's probably a set of tools that's going to be your sweet spot for your tool stack. And I was actually Juan and I just recorded a podcast this morning about, if you're a Google company, for example, Google's coming out with more and more tools inside the Google suite of tools. That it's not even necessarily a matter of investing in new tools, but it's a little bit of investing in time and understanding what tools are even available to you. And so, there are tools we didn't show you today. For example, Google's Notebook LM. So if you're a Google company, you get access to a really cool tool called Google's Notebook LM, which can turn, documents into podcast conversations and audio and things like that. So really just it's time, I think, that all brands and all professionals start to spend some time researching tools, understanding what tools out there, and starting to build your tool stack. And the last thing I'll say about tool stack is it's really important for organizations to have responsible AI use policies and principles and some guidance for employees in terms of what tools they can use, what information they can put into those tools, what are the limitations of free tools compared to paid tools, which tools do we invest in and why, et cetera, et cetera. So, every organization needs to be having those conversations right now because, quite frankly, the world of tools is changing extremely fast. And we need frameworks to evaluate tools, to decide which tools we're using, to replace tools as new tools come on, et cetera, et cetera. And then flexible formats in terms of, training and other opportunities. They could be one-on-one opportunities for training or helping you kind of develop these processes in your organization. They could be small group. They can be your entire organization. So we're really flexible in terms of how we approach helping companies, brands, and individuals prepare for the future that is here today, which is the AI revolution, as I like to call it. So I think that's potentially it. Kenny? No.
So after the session, we'll send an email with the slides, a recording, maybe a list of the tools that we used today, and then an offer as well. And so watch your email after this. And I think just thank you. And if anyone has questions.
Happy to answer questions or take any comments if you have any.
No.
Seeing there are
Everyone is going to be a multimodal creation pro.
Well, thank you for your time, and please do join our next webinar, which the date is, I think, still to be determined, but coming soon.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.